Earlier this week, PRLA and our members visited with our senators and congressmen in Washington, albeit virtually, for the National Restaurant Association's annual Public Affairs Conference. Pennsylvania's turnout of members was among the best of all 52 state restaurant associations and presented a solid showing for our elected officials. We met with Senator Casey and key members of Senator Toomey's staff. We also met with 11 members of Congress or their staffs from across the Commonwealth. In addition to our meetings, the National Restaurant Association kicked off the event with engaging speakers, including Josh Earnest, Press Secretary to President Obama, Dana Perino, Press Secretary to President George W. Bush, Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, and our own Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick. Congressman Fitzpatrick knocked it out of the park and certainly made us Pennsylvanians proud. Small Business Administration is moving closer to launching the Restaurant Revitalization Fund program with a 7-day pilot program slated to begin within the next 2 weeks. Today, PRLA co-hosted a comprehensive webinar with the National Restaurant Association, our friends from the New York and New Jersey Restaurant Associations, and the Small Business Administration to help operators prepare now for the upcoming application opening. This week, the SBA also released its latest Paycheck Protection Program, PPP, report. Pennsylvania received more than 126,000 loans, totaling more than $8.8 billion in funds. Nationally, the accommodation and food services sector accounted for 16% of the total dollars distributed. That's $38.42 billion in the latest round of the PPP. Here in Pennsylvania, vaccines are now available to all Pennsylvanians over the age of 16. Operators in Pennsylvania and around the country are facing an extraordinary challenge in finding enough staff for their businesses. PRLA is devoting significant effort and financial resources to bring workers back to the industry. In addition, we discussed this issue with each of our federal elected officials during the Public Affairs Conference and emphasized the importance of fixing the guest worker program as one partial solution. Additionally, as I mentioned last week, Pennsylvania Acting Secretary for the Department of Labor and Industry, Jennifer Barrier, stated during her recent testimony that the department is starting conversations about reinstating the work search requirement for those individuals collecting unemployment benefit. No timeline for when the re-implementation will occur has been announced, but it's clear that many workers are staying home because of the enhanced unemployment benefits and the suspension of the work search requirement. Bringing that back would be good news for us, especially since there are so many jobs available. During a roundtable with legislators from Central Pennsylvania, a member of the House Labor and Industry Committee also assured us that his committee was working on getting the work search requirement reinstated. Lastly, culinary students from the Milton Hershey School yesterday competed to send their food into space via the NASA Hunch competition. MHS was one of the final 10 high school student-submitted recipes that were prepared and judged in the Sullivan University Culinary Lab for a chance to have their recipes sent to the International Space Station. Milton Hershey School is also a perennial participant in PRLA's ProStart competition, winning the state competition several times. Congrats to the students at Milton Hershey School. I'm John Longstreet with another edition of It Happened This Week. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week.